exciting. So I'm excited and honored. Thank you for having me and allowing me to be here. And to my awesome worship partner, thank you so much. Having a great time with this beautiful soul you all are blessed to have every Sunday, no doubt, right? And Lisa and David, thank you all for hosting us. Really appreciate it. We had a great time last night as well. Thank you for putting us up and putting up with us. We had a good time. As you saw, our son is very young and boisterous and free as a young man should be, you know. And sometimes he's one of the best lessons for me to learn how to be that light, because he will do things that I thought start to judge.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, wait a minute, stop. You know, I want to harness him in. And of course, we give him safe boundaries, but he helps expose a lot of the things that I've been conditioned to see as right or wrong, right? Kids do that. They expose those things, right? And then as we see them, it gives us the opportunity to feel. I'll share it with you right off the bat in my practice. So what I've learned is anytime you observe anything that makes you feel an emotion that doesn't feel like peace, joy, bliss, or something you enjoy, anytime you feel that, there's resistance. It's resistance to what is, and what you're seeing, or what you're observing. So, great example with my son, when he was jumping up, and I think he kicked over his water over there. He jumped up and he started hopping and trying to be the first time visitor, making sure she could see him. Initially, I had a little resistance pop up immediately, like, oh, he spilled the water. Oh, what's he doing? You know? Anytime you feel resistance, that means we're unaligned. We're unaligned with the divine perspective. Because the divine perspective, love's perspective, or the source from which we come from, that perspective does not feel like resistance. That perspective feels like support, feels like love, feels like compassion and kindness. So anytime we have, the emotions are a beautiful thing, as I'm sure you're well aware. As soon as that resistance comes up, your emotions kick in and let you know. It's like, whoa, what's that? You know? So you can realign. So I like to explain it as there's the divine perspective, and that divine perspective allows. It allows whatever shows up and accepts it and lets it pass through, right? So there's no resistance to what is. It just passes through. Well, we are extensions of that same divine perspective, that same source. So our energy is designed to do the same thing. As soon as we create resistance, what happens to that energy? We're going to make this interactive. Is that okay?
That's okay.
Because you guys have wisdom.
Yeah.
So what happens to that? What happens to that source energy that you are? As soon as you create resistance, what happens? I know you guys know.
Locks it down.
Yes, it's blocked. We create blocks through that resistance, through that judgment, or that anger, or whatever that comes up that has us not accept what is, right? So when that block happens, what happens?
Anger.
Yeah. Emotions kick in.
Emotions kick in.
Emotions you don't want to feel.
Judgment.
All kinds of
That's
stuff.
right.
Yeah.
I got this one.
You got that? Now the beautiful thing is, those emotions are such beautiful gifts. They are the teachers. They bring the lessons of, hey, guess what? Over here, something's wrong. Well, not wrong in the sense of right and wrong, but in the sense of alignment. Hey, you're out of alignment. So anytime you've got that sensation of, oh, it's like, whoa, we're out of alignment. Hey, over here. So that gift shows up, and it's telling you, bring your awareness to me. Guess what? Something's up. You're out of alignment. Now, there's different paths and different ways to recorrect and get in alignment, right? But we all have what we call spiritual practices that we use to do that, from meditation and prayer to mindfulness to breathing, all these different practices. But all these practices are trying to do one thing for you. You just need to find a practice that works for you. And what is that one thing that these practices are doing for us? Connection, right? Someone else said? Yeah. Aligning. Yes, exactly. So I'm like, acceptance, that's right. Yep. So as we realign using these practices that help us reconnect, we can begin to accept what is. We can begin to accept our son doing this and not be mad about it. Now we may tell him, hey, sit back down, but we can be kind and compassionate about it without getting resistance. So the excitement I've been feeling recently has really come from expanding into this understanding through these practices and connecting and being healed. Now, that's a tricky word, being healed. When I say being healed, I'm not talking about fixing something. When I say being healed, I'm talking about letting go of the appearance of something not fixed. So, our true nature, who we really are. I like to go to A Course in Miracles. It has this beautiful description. Lesson 97, I believe. It says, Spirit, I am. So that's where I start. Spirit, I am. Then it goes on to say, a holy Son of God. A holy Son of God. Free of all limitations. Safe, healed, whole, free to forgive, free to save the world. Spirit I am, not a body, not form. Spirit I am. I love the book An Untethered Soul. Anyone familiar with that? Untethered Soul, Michael Singer. Read his first book, great book. Or actually, this is his first book. Anyway, I digress. Untethered Soul, he goes into talking about how to observe the thoughts, very similar to Tolle, Eckhart Tolle, observe the thoughts, becoming a witness. But he makes the distinction that when we look at our thoughts and emotions, when they come up, we actually identify with them and think that they are us. He makes the distinction that just like you would watch a tree or see a bird go by, your consciousness doesn't necessarily automatically think that that's you. You can use the same sense of awareness and consciousness when your emotions come up and when your thoughts come up. But get this. The body. That's the kicker. That's the one we attach to the most sometimes. You think we're in this body. I was talking to a good friend of mine. We have something called, he's a house guest of ours actually. We have something called church. We have it just about every night if we can. Late at night, 2 in the morning when my wife's asleep. Me and I get together, we just have church. And we talk about the things we're learning. And I love this one analogy we were talking about. Now, I had heard it before and I started to expound on it. Shared it with my wife and thought it was perfect. Imagine one day you get up and you go card hunting. Right? You've been enjoying your life and you're walking in the sun and you decide, okay, I'm going to get a car because I want to get around. I've been enjoying the countryside, but I need to travel further and take less time. Just want it to be more practical. I think I'd enjoy a car. You get to the dealership and you're like, oh, okay. Well, that's a nice car. Mid-size. Okay. SUV. Oh, no. It's a little too much for my taste. I want something that feels good and kind of sexy on the road. You know? I want something, oh, this is nice. All electric, black Tesla. So you decide to get that black electric Tesla. And here's the kicker. There's there's no limit on your finances, so you can have it easily. And you walk out, and guess what? You have lifetime insurance. You're good to go. You walk out, everything is good. You're in your Tesla driving, enjoying yourself, driving down the road, and come to the stoplight, and you notice people are looking at you. Like, oh, they like this guy. I got good taste. I like this guy too. You know, you drive off, you're feeling good, and the years go by, and one day you're driving, and you have a friend over, and you guys decide to go out for a little race, and you guys are racing, and he gets a little mad, and he kind of bumps you. You're like, what the? Oh my goodness, you get out and you look at your Tesla, you're like, oh my God, you dented my Tesla. Dude, I've had this for years. I can't believe you did that. Oh my goodness, you get in your car, you drive home, you decide not to speak to him again. Every day you drive in Tesla, you look at that dent. Like, oh my goodness. So you think about having other friends over, and you think twice, you're like, you know what, if we go driving, those guys are probably not gonna do it. Go through life thinking about where is it safe to drive the car now because of that dent, right? Like, you know what? This dent, I can't trust people. They do things intentionally, maliciously, and hurt you. Can't trust them. You decide you're going to do whatever you can to protect your car. Go through life making sure and making decisions that are safest for your car, right? And not only that, but the car begins to get older. You got it in 2016, it's now 2035.
That's a lot older.
There's a lot of new models out, but no, you are like, I'm keeping this. I know it's getting old, but I don't want to let it go. Nope. Nope. I'm going to drive it till the wheels come off. Then when it starts to die and hard to start up, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe this. No! No! Ugh. These dealerships, they make me sick. Why can't they make these cars last forever? What in the world? And so, eventually you have to let go of the Tesla. But guess what? There's a lot of new cars on the market. And you've got an unlimited bank account. You can get a new model. Now that analogy, I'm sure some of you are following. The Tesla is our vehicle. The Tesla is our body, right? This is our body. It is the vehicle somehow we chose before we showed up. It's the model that had a soul's blueprint. That unique model you picked out with the divine. You decided you were going to show up exactly in this Tesla or this body or whatever you showed up with. And as you showed up with it, when you came, you forgot you picked it out, didn't you? You forgot that, wait a minute, the whole time, I planned to come in this body. But more importantly, this is just the vehicle. I decided to pick this one. This is the vehicle. Now, are you the vehicle? Or are you greater than that? You know, you're wearing this tribe in the vehicle, right? So, spirit I am. The consciousness that we're all connected to, driving in these vehicles. We like our vehicles. Nothing wrong with that. But when we get dense, sometimes we have to learn to let go, right? Spirit I am. A holy Son of God. We may have made some wrong turns along the way, driving in this vehicle. They've gotten lost a few times, had a couple of accidents. We may have put some dents in somebody else's vehicle. But we are holy. sinless. Sinless, guaranteed. No matter what mistakes we have made, we are sinless, guaranteed. Sons of God, extensions of that greatest one consciousness, birth as duplicate in part and in whole. Sons of God. Free of all limitations. And that's a kicker. Free of all limitations. As we expand and learn who we really are, the universe is one of those cool things. It keeps showing you what you're choosing to believe about yourself, whether consciously or subconsciously. Right? And if you have conflicting beliefs, it'll show you that too, right? It'll keep showing you mirrors to help you see what's there. And if you have limitations, it will gently and intelligently show them to you, lovingly, so you can release them. Oh my gosh, I'm driving down the street, here comes a car. Those emotions pop up, and they tell you you're holding on, you're choosing subconsciously to hold on to that bit. If you want to be free, let it go. Because you are safe, you are healed, and you are whole. So you are free to forgive. Not only those who have dented you, but free to forgive yourself for any mistake. You are a holy son of God. So, I invite you to accept your function to be those extensions of Source as limitless love and light. The light of the world that is here to save the world. But we don't save it by seeing error and mistakes. We save it by letting go and accepting that divine vision, aligning from moment to moment, accepting all that is. Now, I have no idea how much time I have left. I think I'm out of time. Am I out of time? I have 0. Okay. So, that concludes what I wanted to share with you. And I thank you for listening. I thank you for being the beautiful audience you have been. And I'm so glad to be here. I look forward to talking to you each if we have the time after this. My wife's like, no, don't say that. She knows I love to talk to people, so we'll be here all night if I get my way. But anyhow, thank you so much for having me. I hope you enjoyed that.